Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
No.
Thou art more really pretty and more temperature.
Does he ever stop talking?
Not in my experience.
Sebastian, I am trying to woo her. Shut up!
Clifton, you're failing! Shut up!
You know what, you quadruped? You are
No. Both of you. Time out. Now.
But
I said now. Boris, inside. Clifton, you have to stay outside anyway, so do it. You two don't talk again. Ever. Not unless you learn to speak to one another with a little respect and kindness. Okay? Quit being turd buckets.
You're so ethereal.
Oh, stop. I will vomit.
Anything, my love?
Stay, doggy. Come. I'm home, Daddy. What?
Nothing. You're just really
Strong-willed, independent, good with children?
all of those.
Yeah. Thanks, I've had some practice. Kinda had to grow up quickly around here. Listen, about my father, there's something you should know before you meet him.
What's that?
Well,
What?
Daddy?
What? What's going on?
Dad!
Dad?
Hold on, Daddy!
Wait, so her dad is the water?
I think he's in the water.
Oh, right, yeah. That would make more sense. A lot more sense.
Get thee to a nunnery in my pants. Oh, melon. Thank you, Phil. Thank you again. I must have lost track of time.
Daddy, you've got to stop this.
Oh, but I'm almost there, Cupcake. I can feel it.
Daddy.
I know it exists just a few more times and I can prove it.
And what happens when I'm not there to save you the next few times? Daddy, you're going to kill yourself.
Cupcake, I'm not going to... is that what all of this has been about? I told you it's perfectly safe.
No, it's not, Dad. It's dangerous. I can't understand why you insist on doing this. Look, you don't have to prove it to anyone, okay? Why can't knowing it exists just be enough?
It's not as simple as that.
How is it not?
I can't figure out what they're talking about.
Boris, I don't know if we should be listening to this.
You shouldn't be, but you are, so whatever.
Sorry.
You alright, Master S?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Why?
You just seem a bit antsy.
Oh, I guess I'm just a little nervous is all. 3 months and all. We're finally here. Mr. Moustache, Pearl.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Really? You know, there's been so much fighting and craziness lately.
What?
I'm just really glad you're here, Boris.
Glad you're here too, Master S.
What?
Well, I think...
All right, you can come in. Talk to him, but don't encourage him.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
It's you. It's you! It's you! You finally come, my dear boy. Quickly, quickly, have a seat, take a seat, or stand, or whatever, because our bodies don't have the capability to bend more than 45 degrees and it looks awkward. You are just in time for tea.
Tea?
Why, of course, dear Sebastian. You cannot have an expository dump of plot information without some fetching Earl Grey. That's what I say. Seat yourselves, stand yourselves, float even. I will go fetch the book.
Wait, what is all this? How do you know us?
How does everybody know us?
Oh, but my talking animal and friend, everybody knows who you are. But it's all right, do not fret. We are the good guys. It's all a part of the prophecy. The prophecy! Where's the Ferl? You said you would do it. Yay! Okay, there we go. Wait here. I'll fetch the book.
I don't know if you'll be able to derive anything helpful from his insane ranting, but you're welcome to try.
I like tea.
Now I realize that there is a lot to go through and time is starting to wear thin. But if you will allow me, I feel it best we begin at the beginning. A more perfect place to start there never was.
Wait, what is that?
This, my dear boy, I've painstakingly transcribed every detail. This is the beginning of our world. And unless we act, it shall reveal our end. Listen closely, then question time. In the beginning, there was a tiny, tiny moose by the name of Edwin, and he... Wait, that's the wrong story. Hang on. Here we are. In the beginning, before anything existed, there was a being, and the being was bored. So the being spoke into oblivion. Let there be a twisted, fabricated fantasy land of blocks. And lo, millions of lines of code burst into existence, and it became so. And the being saw what they had created, and the being was glad. But the being quickly grew bored again, and said, "Still am I bored, for I have no one like myself whom with which I can play with these twisted and fabricated blocks." And the being coded into life the monsters, the skeletons, the zombies, the creepers. But they didn't play with the blocks, except for the Endermen, and we don't talk about them. Also, they were ugly and not friendly to look at. So the being coded the animals, the sheep, the cows, the wolves. They didn't play much with the blocks either, but they were cute and friendly to look at, and the being was all, "Oh, look at the little pretty Albertafili for the finish boofy boohoo." But still, the being had no one to play blocks with. So the being thought, and then the being coded the humans, the men, the women, the in-between. And the humans looked out upon the fantasy land and saw more than the monsters, more than the animals. For deep within the humans' data lines, they had something that the previous creations did not.
Imagination?
No! Idiocy!
Idiocy.
You're the domesticated one, Boris.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not a bad thing. Listen, the humans looked out upon the land and were stupid enough to say, "I want to build a house," or "I want to build a train station village," or "I want to waste at least 24 to 72 hours of my life building a to-scale replication of Hogwarts." Driven by their idiocy and their dumb ideas, the humans made art. They played with the blocks. Yes, it was stupid, but lo, I'll be gobsmacked if it wasn't pretty. And the being looked upon the creations of the humans, and the being grew glad. And the humans were glad, because putting things on top of other things, or breaking things that are on top of things, is really, really fun. And we would have lived in peace until the servers lost power, if not for the last creation. The being made dragons, because who doesn't love dragons? Dragons are awesome and cool and breathe fire and stuff. But the dragons looked out upon the world and said, "This world is not on fire, therefore it is not cool." The dragons despised the humans' creations, for they were not aflame with the dragon's awesome fire breath. They wished to destroy the creations in order to create a cooler, more on fire world. The dragons chastised the being. Why would you make a world that is not on fire? Fire is the coolest. And the being replied, You are mistaken, dragons. While fire is pretty cool, there is one thing that is cooler, the idiocy of friendship. And the dragons laughed and said, Friendship is dumb. And the being said, Tisn't, I'll prove it. Try and make your fire world. And lo, the dragons did, led by Bartov, the even bigger than normal sized dragon's dragon. The dragons waged war upon the humans. The humans and their creations suffered countless casualties, and for a time, much hope, all hope, was lost. But there were some who resisted. There were some humans who felt bound to one another through their idiocy and their creations. This was the friendship that the beings spoke of. A band of humans arose, and the keepers of friendship stood along the burning landscape of whatever our twisted, fabricated fantasy land is called, and fought with the dragons for 40 days and 17 nights. The dragons laughed, for their fire was fierce and quite warm to the touch, but the being had spoken correctly. Quite actually, friendship was cooler than fire. The keepers of friendship were so connected, so bound, they unlocked secrets deep within their coding and gained the ability to create and throw ice crystals with their minds. While pish, squab, with a bitter twing, the keepers froze the fire and overpowered the dragons with awesome friendship ice powers. And the dragons were all, no, ice and cold things are specifically the opposite of the things we want. They realized they could not defeat the keepers with their fire and begrudgingly surrendered. The keepers had won.
But I thought fire was super effective against ice.
Not in this world. It isn't. In this world, ice fixes everything. You got that?
Okay.
Good. Now, when the dragons surrendered, they said they wouldn't try to make a fire world again. But asking a dragon to not set things on fire is like trying to keep a Tamagotchi alive for any extended period of time. Fun-sucking and ultimately futile. So the keepers did the only thing they could think of. They straight up murdered all the dragons in cold blood. The being reacted with shock and dismay, for the genocide thing was maybe a tad unnecessary. The being cast apart the keepers of friendship and sowed seeds of discord and political ideology amongst them, so they would divide and separate from one another. In doing so, the being saved the final dragon in existence before he could be touched, the son of Bartov, the even bigger than normal sized dragon's dragon. His name was Chet. The being built a giant bottomless pit and placed Chet inside it for his protection. The being hid the pit far away where no human would ever find it and left it at that. The being turned their face away from the world, ashamed of their own creations, and just as the keepers of friendship were shattered and broken, no longer able to create ice with their minds, Chet grew up alone, an orphan, and without parental figures of any kind. Within him grew a hatred for all things, and he wishes even today to destroy our twisted and fabricated fantasy land of blocks. Thankfully, the pit prevents him from doing so. But one day, when a great miner sacrifices a great virgin son to the depths, Chet will be freed, for it will be a symbolic analogy for how he thinks his own father abandoned him, when he actually had no intentions of doing so. He was just murdered by crazy ice powers. The end.
Wait a minute. Did anybody else notice that he doesn't have a mustache?
This is a lot to absorb.
There's an understatement.
Are you saying that these people who've kidnapped my father, they think we're the father and son?
They don't just think it, my dear boy. They know it. You are.
No, we're not. I've been through this before. I'm not special. We are not special. We're just...
Trying to deny it because it's easier? It's what you prefer? Sebastian, listen to yourself. Would any of this have happened if it weren't true?
Of course it could have.
Furl.
No, I'm sorry. I can't listen to this anymore. I won't. This is all a load of crock. It's not real. It's just a story.
No, it isn't. Phil, how many times do I have to explain it?
How many times do I, Daddy? It's bad enough you shoved these theories down my throat. I'm not going to let you ruin this kid's psyche because you think he's some kind of savior.
He's not a savior. He's more like a metaphorical key.
Oh my...
No, now listen. The Obsidian Empire has one half of the key. They want to lure Sebastian to them so they can get the other half.
Okay, and why is that?
To release the dragon. And tame him in order to gain fire powers.
Do you
But they
hear
can't,
yourself?
They can't tame a dragon.
Do you hear how crazy you sound? The entire town thinks it. Tame him in order to gain fire powers. Because that makes sense. And next comes the part where you started a religious movement with cooking supplies to try and keep the evil dragon at bay. Right?
You started New Switzerland?
They became misguided. That is why I left. That woman is not a true Olivist. She is consumed completely by her own ambition. She's psychotic.
Right, she's the psychotic one.
Well, at least she believes me. Unlike some people here that will remain nameless for the time being.
Daddy, it's just that...
It doesn't matter.
Excuse me?
Whether it's real or not. It doesn't matter. Look, I'm sorry that you two don't see eye to eye on this subject, because I don't think I'm making this any easier for you, but either way, this empire has my father. I'm going to get him back.
But you can't. You'll be doing exactly what they want.
Then they'll get it. I will take me. I will take myself to the Obsidian Empire. Even though I do not know the way. So, if anybody wants to come with me, that would be cool. Or, yeah, I really don't know where it is. Really.
Nobody does. Its location is only known to those who've been there before.
Well, that sucks.
How do we get there then?
We can't. I suppose we could conceivably find a team member and force them to show us the way, but the likelihood of such circumstances falling into place, Wait. Of course! Wait! There may be another way. According to my theory, the historical records, they say, at the bottom of the bottomless pit, there is a plane of existence, a plane of enlightenment, where all answers will be revealed. One must only reach it, and they will receive the answer to any question they wish.
No, Daddy, no, it doesn't exist.
Yes, it does. I can prove it. I can't reach it, but maybe the Great One can.
Daddy!
What is this?
My dad wants to feed you pufferfish and shove you down a well.
What?
It's perfectly harmless. It's to create a sensory effect that allows the mind to reach the plane of existence.
While drowning?
On drugs.
If that's what the kids are calling it these days, then we have no time to argue with semantics.
Daddy, I'm not letting you do this. It's insane.
No, it's... If you want to find your father, this is the only choice we have.
Master S, you're not actually considering this, are you? Don't do it, Master S. This doesn't sound right.
If I don't, though, we have nothing.
Okay, then. Then we have nothing. We'll find another way. Maybe we don't even have to go to this empire. Maybe your dad isn't there.
How?
I don't know. I mean, if this stuff is true, we should probably stay away from them, right?
Boris, whose side are you on?
Yours, Master S. Sebastian.
If I might interject for a quick moment here.
How did you get in?
Oh, I climbed in through the window sometime around the dragons. It seems like tensions and emotions are presently running slightly higher than the norm. I don't want to influence anybody's opinion, but maybe we shouldn't make such a rash and or potentially life-threatening decision in the heat of the moment. Well, we may not be necessarily thinking clearly or optimally. Are you wearing my pants? That is not important. What is important is that Sebastian think carefully about the decision he has to make. I understand his dilemma. On one hand, drugs are dangerous, addictive, and potentially lethal. They should never be abused, especially in attempts to reach alternate planes of reality. On the other hand, if he doesn't take this chance, there's a likely possibility he might never see his father again, and therefore might never be able to mend his relationship with him, forcing his face to eternally live in guilt and anguished despair until the end of his days. My. For a panty thief, your vocabulary is quite exquisite. Hey, no, you're not making fun of me. You're just being nice.
It is astounding how much better I liked you before you got enlightened.
Boris, you don't have to bring that up every time I say something smart.
And you don't have to talk at all. This is Sebastian's problem, not yours.
I'm just trying to be helpful.
No one asked for your help.
And yours isn't the only opinion in the room.
Guys, cool it.
No! I've had it! You are mean to me, Boris! I mean, sure, I'm a bully too, okay, but you know what? At least I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry. I am. Because it isn't exactly easy being enlightened, Boris. You ever hear that saying, ignorance is bliss, Boris? Well, you know what else is bliss? Having parents, or friends, or people who actually care about you, instead of just a grandfather who loves bullying you around and neglecting you in a conscious and subconscious attempt to deal with his own father issues. I have the worst life ever in the history of whatever our twisted, fabricated fantasy land of blocks is. And I can't hide from it anymore. Not now. 3 months ago, I didn't even know what the word ignorant meant. And now, more than ever, I am acutely aware that the prospect of a happy life is something that will forever elude me.
Clifton,
Shut up, Boris. Like you're gonna say anything that'll make me feel better. That you don't like me. None of you do. You're right. Nobody asked for my help. Sorry to interrupt.
Clifton, wait!
If it's that much trouble, he can keep the pans.
I've never seen him like that before. Maybe one of us should go talk to him? Well, don't everybody volunteer at once. I guess I'll go.
Give him time. He'll come back around.
How do you know?
I don't. But after watching that, I think he might be a little tougher than any of us give him credit for. Still an idiot and a pervert. But hey, Auntie makes a good point. Think about what you're doing here.
It's safe, I assure you.
But you don't know that. I don't know that. We only have my father's word, and I'm sorry, Daddy, but it isn't that reliable.
It's alright. Some people just aren't.
I'll give it the night to think about it. But I can't promise I won't. Mr. Moustache, would it be alright if we spent the night here?
Of course, yes. I'll go make some extra beds. Do you believe me?
I don't want to.
All right.
Psst. Hey, kid.
Huh?
Psst.
There are bathrooms by the pool.
No, come here. I got a question.
What?
That house over there. That's Farrell's house?
Yeah?
Moustache's house?
Yeah. Yeah, they're all there. Look, leave me alone, okay? I'm supposed to be alone.
Good. Good. Ha. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I do have to pee.